This doesn't care whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist, a pagan, you don't believe in any culture. These are facts. If your mother wasn't successful, you won't be successful. If your dad wasn't successful, you won't be successful until you do certain things that are supposed to be done. So I'm just going to go straight to the point. There are patterns in every family. There are patterns that are there with or without your belief. It doesn't care whether you believe or you don't believe. There are patterns that are in every family. Some are very nice patterns and some are very pathetic patterns that have to be worked on for you to break that age. This is what you should do. Take a pen and a paper. Even as I'm saying this, you will analyze and maybe you'll get to understand me. So write every of your family member, starting from your grandmother. For those who are privileged to have their great grandfather, you can start from there, or just start from the one that you are available to. But if you can access the names and those great grandmother, great grandfather, grandmother, write them, ask and then write them down. So you can start, for example, great grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, and then there's me. You can start from the great grandfather, grandfather, my dad, and then me for guys. These patterns, for example, if your mother was a very drunk person, if your mother was didn't do well in school, your mother just went through some certain types of struggle, trust you me, as the daughter, you will undergo also. If you don't notice and work towards that pattern, it will definitely end up catching up with you. For example, if your dad was very drunkard, used to beat the wife, the mother, if also your mother used to be beaten by the father, trust you me, be careful, very, very careful on who you marry. If your dad married a very drunk woman that drinks, doesn't take care of the home, if you're not careful as a guy who you marry, you'll just end up to be the same. You'll think that this is the gem, but lo and behold, after you've given like 4 children, you've closed that chapter, now you see someone totally different. This is just pattern. It's a pattern. Doesn't mean even the person has to be like that. But if the person has gotten married to you, that pattern, if you're married, you're like one. Okay. So if you got married to this person, her patterns, your patterns, they're one. So just ask questions before getting into a relationship. You will never break the age if you don't do anything. Study your behavior and study your surrounding. This includes your behavior. If, for example, and I'm talking this if you are 18 years and above, or because that is when you can be able to identify yourself very well and you can be able to identify different things and understand. Also, I'm not exempting those who are younger but very mindful and very knowledgeable about their background. Nothing will happen to you if you are born in a very successful family. Nothing is going to happen to you if you're born in a very family that is well known or well established. Nothing will happen to you unless your behaviors they corrode the moral values and the moral culture of the family. Then you'll collide to this other side. If you're born with a single mother, doesn't mean that you'll end up with being a single mother also, but you will end up if you don't do anything. You will end up if you don't break that age. And I'm going to tell you how to break that age at the very end, so stick to the end of the video so that you don't misunderstand me. So here is what happens. If you're born in a family, extended or nuclear, doesn't matter. If you're born in a family with a single father, single mother, doesn't matter. If you're brought up in a children's home, on the streets, in a well-established family, it doesn't matter. Here's where your behaviors come in. Your behavior will determine your fate. Your behavior will determine your fate. If your mother was used to struggle, but nothing happens, then there's a problem in the family. If you work very hard and nothing happens, then there's a problem. I'm not trying to incorporate religious things, but these are just facts. Because if your dad was a drunk person, automatically the son will be drunk. If your mother was a very drunk lady, automatically the daughter will be getting drunk. I'm not saying that is the fate, but that is the fate if you don't do anything. This is what you'll do. So if you're born in a family that you see things are not really good and you're trying and working your best to amend things, but nothing happens. So this is what you'll do. Also, this applies to where you are a guy, you've been, let's say you're a guy, you do whatever is supposed to be done, but you don't get results in return. This is what you should do. So as I'm speaking, I want you to take a pen and a paper after this or even during this, sit down, write down your family tree from who you can remember, from let's say your grandfather, or if for those who are privileged to have great grandfathers and grandmothers, start from there. Write the names, or just write great grandmother, great grandfather. It's good also when you write the names, because many of us are named after our four families. I hope you get me. Starts just from anyone. If you are not privileged to have or to experience your mother or anyone, you can write the names of those who raised you, but try as much as possible to have your blood, like your mother, your father, even if you don't know where they are, you can just inquire. Your mom, your dad. You can choose one line, let's say your mom, your grandmother, your great grandmother, or me, my dad, my grandfather, my great grandfather. You can also use that one line, whoever is available. So write down. If you are in a position where you can access them and talk to them, ask them these questions. If they died, use the one available on that tree. If let's say it's your mother, ask her questions. If it's your grandmother, ask her questions. So this is what you will ask. For example, and it might be very, very weird if you just pop up with these questions. You can do this. Observe their lives. You can ask, where did grandfather used to live? How did he acquire the wealth that he had? Why did he live the life he lived? Ask question and take notes. Ask while you take the notes. For example, he used to live. This was his occupation. This was how he used to generate his wealth. Even if it wasn't that much amount of money, but this is how he used to create his wealth. Even if they were not rich, but this is what was sustaining them. Use that. Finish with grandfather, go to your grandmother or grandfather, then go to your mother. You can start with the closest apple. Remember, an apple doesn't fall far away from the tree. Use your mother. You can ask your mother questions or just observe her. How is she that hardworking? Yes. Does she get the returns that are supposed to substitute the hard work that she's giving? No or yes. Some might have acquired wealth from their dads. That's okay. That from whoever started creating that wealth. Ask, how did this go? How did this go? How did this? If the person is not available, just ask around, ask your aunties, ask your nephews, ask everyone. If you don't study and know where you fall or where you belong, then you haven't even started living the life, and you might end up going through this life, getting done, and going 6 feet down while you even didn't know anything. You didn't know, you just existed. I don't care whether you're a Christian, whether you are whatever, pagan, Buddhist, whatever, Islamic, these things are there. So you have to follow that pattern. If you observe very careful the life of your mother and the life of your grandmother or the life of your great grandmother, you will see a pattern. If you observe the life of your dad, the life of your grandfather, and the life of your great grandfather, you will see a pattern. If you observe the life of the brothers of your father, you will see a pattern. If you observe the life of your aunties or the sisters to your mother, you will see a pattern. That is, if none of your mom or dad is available, observe the brothers and the sisters. So these generational patterns are there and they will have to follow, because there's no way you can go up the stairs and miss like 6 steps and then you want to get to the other. To continue with the staircase, you'll fall down, or that will be the end of your journey. So observe. This is especially for those people who are not from well-off families. Observe. Observe. My mother really worked hard but got nothing in return. This and this and this is so happening in our family. So what is it supposed to be done? Once you observe and then you see, for example, in our family, this and this usually happens. People drink a lot. People get fired at work at this age. People really struggle in life, in their marriage, in so and so. You observe and you note them down before they get up with you. Because even if they get up with you, by the time you are dealing with them, it will be like time will be far much gone. So it's better you realize early and deal with them for you to have at least part of life that you will enjoy. So if, for example, a family that the father used to drink, trust me, when that guy gets married, at some point, let's say they have children and family, the guy will start to drink. Trust you me, it's a pattern. A pattern can even wait for you for 50 years or 20 years. So once you realize that, please ensure that, number one, stay away from drinking. Stay away from drinking. You will have to stay away for that pattern to break, so that those who will come after you, you will have broken that pattern. So if someone will drink, that will be according to their choices. Okay? If, for example, you work really hard but get nothing in return, observe where the problem is. Let's say maybe there are poor work environment, or you just get paid low wages or something, like it's just bad work. Okay, very pathetic job. Okay, so make sure you look for a very neat and legit job. Try as much as possible to look for a very legit job that will work and do it. This is how you break a pattern in a family. You break that age, and now it's like you break loose from some certain chains, or whatever it is. Okay, it's not only drinking. Some is marriage. Some is academics. Let's say that family just fails or whatsoever. Okay, but if you're born in a well-being family and well-known, it also happens there. So whether you work hard or you don't work hard, there are chances that you'll just be successful in your life, because it's a pattern in your family. It's a pattern that someone started and it kept going. So, but that doesn't mean that you should be lazy, but high chances are you'll definitely be successful in your life, and vice versa too. Okay. So I hope I've explained well. Where you haven't understood, please comment and I'll get back to you.